One down. Two. There we go.
Hi everyone, how are you guys tonight? You guys, we are live here on the Brush by Brandy Facebook and Instagram pages, and my name is Brandy, and I'm the owner and artist behind Brush by Brandy. My husband Sean is here behind the camera to help us. He's going to read all your questions and comments and help us answer them. He might ignore you completely. I don't know. I don't find out. I feel like poking fun. So you guys say hi to Sean. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm hearing people are getting snow. It's been a cold week here too. We had our first fire in the fireplace in California, so that's kind of that's the official sign that the seasons are changing. That, and then I changed from painting flip-flops to painting in Uggs.
Oh, those look so brand new.
I know, these are rough, and these have been through, I've had these for about 5 or 6 years, and I painted in them the whole time. They're thrashed, but I just can't think of putting another one through it, so.
Well, amen to that. At this
point, they have sentimental value. Okay, so you guys, we are going to paint here tonight, and what I'm going to be doing is this dresser that's behind me. And let me explain to you what's going on with this here. This is a set that I have. I've got the lower dresser too, the 6-drawer dresser, and it's actually a custom order. And I've been working with this customer for a while. I did some other pieces for her. We finished those up, and these are coming up next. And we've exchanged a whole bunch of photos, but she's totally not 100% sure on direction. So with each photo that we've shared, I've kind of gotten some idea from her, and I'm just at this point going to put paint on it, and then I will show her kind of a rough draft of where I think we are on ideas, and then we can kind of correct from there. So this is going to be very much a conceptualizing night for us. And what I'm going to be using is blues and greens. So I'm going to be somewhere in, these are all the Wiesel paint, these are their greens. Lots of greens, and then even more blues. And so I'm going to be somewhere in this range for blues, and I've got an even lighter green that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be somewhere in this range with my colors tonight. So let's go ahead and open some cans, and we will start painting. I've also got some alternatives out, so if I start putting color on here and I don't like it, I can change my color. Throw you a couple of these.
Be gentle.
The ones I know for sure I'm going to use. I thought I'd want them up here, but I'm going to bring them down now. Okay. So she wanted blues and greens, and then she kept saying brighter. So I know she doesn't want muted tones. And muted tones, let me show you a difference between some muted tones and what I consider a bright color. So if I'm looking at greens, dried thyme is a great example of a muted green. Did you just open that green I gave you?
No, do you want me to?
Yeah, can you? Oh, you just put it away?
Yeah, I set it over here. You were going to throw one my way. I don't remember hearing. No. Please open.
Oh, just so you'd open it. Okay. This is a brighter green. So dried thyme would be a muted green, and this is what I'd consider a bright green. So this one's called Joshua Tree. And this is actually what I'm going to be using tonight. So I think I'm going to actually start out with a little bit of that color, and then I'm going to blend it into some bluey greens. I'm going to turn this a little bit so I can reach it better. Why this already has a coat of paint on it, I actually had an order for this set a while back, and the customer ended up changing her mind, and she chose a different piece for my inventory. But I had already prepped, primed, and put a base coat on. I just put this back into my inventory with that, and then I got another order for it.
So Myra is down in Costa Rica. She's been recently watching a lot of your stuff, but
you guys aren't.
I'm waiting for the invite.
Down in Costa Rica, I'm assuming. Okay, so this just has. I cleaned it. I sanded anywhere that needed sanding. Took all my hardware off. I put a coat of primer underneath here, and then it does have a base coat of paint. I'm just going to paint right over the top. It's not sealed or anything. It just was a base coat of paint I did at the time. I'm going to start out with this color. I feel like I'm backwards. I need to be on that side because
because the camera doesn't know what to do with you.
It's my opposite hand. I'm reaching the wrong way. Okay. So I'm going to start out, and I'm going to kind of frame out this whole piece. This is going to be probably kind of a challenging blend. I'm assuming I'm going to do it a few times to get it just right. I will paint at first with my drawers in the body, but I always take them back out later, and I will paint around the drawer frame. If I have any areas that my paint has thickened or anything, I can always sand those smooth, but I usually end up doing that before my paint has even dried. I'll pull them out just a little bit and get around that frame. So I think I'm going to add a lighter spot in the center, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and get my colors on here, get them laid out, see how I like it.
Hey, FBJ.
Hey.
And everyone saying hi. Sorry.
Yeah, hi guys. Sorry, we've been moving around a lot, so I'll get to reading everything in just a second. I do try to keep it so that I don't get any thick spots like along the top of a drawer, like right here. I'll just make sure I brush that out. This green spot I'm going to make larger than I actually intend it to be. This is that Joshua tree. So Joshua tree is one of the Wiesel, it was a limited edition color release they did recently. So these are newer colors. And I also think this one is really fun. I've been working on some holiday projects, and it's a really nice, fresh holiday green too.
I'm giggling back here because the moment I change the camera because you're going down, then you decide to go up.
Yeah, I'm going to be back and forth because this is a pretty large surface. I don't know if you want to back up to get the whole thing, but then everybody's going to say, go in closer. So really you
can only see her head.
Really you can't win tonight.
That's what people sound like,
in
case anybody's wondering.
This is a large area to blend with. Normally I wouldn't be even sitting down. I'd be standing and I'd be right in front of it. But then you guys won't see a thing. So I'm going to be sitting kind of off to the side, and that means I have to reach. And I turn the piece a little bit actually.
Sherry says hi. Now,
hi, Sherry.
I'm kind of curious about the weather that's happening up there. I talked to a friend in Tennessee today, and it was getting a little weird. So,
by weird, do you just mean white stuff starts falling from the sky?
No. Like the tropical storm / hurricane that hit Florida was creeping up that direction and coming back. Then it was going to make a U-turn.
I was listening to the radio today and hearing that like the East Coast is all expecting all of that. Okay, can you hand me my mister bottle over there?
I can't do that.
I don't feel like I need water at this point, but I'm going to keep my mister bottle on hand. Mostly because I just feel like this hand is naked if I don't have my mister bottle in it. Like this is just my go-to. Okay, so the brush that I'm laying my Joshua tree on is the Klingon S50. I love these for laying the paint on, and you'll see me later. I'm going to pull out my round brush when I start working my colors together. And for that, I like the Wiesel Premium brush. This is their 1.5 inch round. So I always have like a flat and a round, and that's what I've got here. My flat is my Klingon S50. My round is my premium brush. This would also work. This is their palm brush. It just has a different type of handle on it, and it's got a larger head on it. This is a 1.5 inch round. This is a 2 inch round. Either one of these works. I think I prefer the longer handle because I like my brush sitting like this in my hand versus how this one sits. So I just think it's a personal preference. This just feels a little fatter in my hand.
So the color you're using is Joshua Tree.
It's Joshua Tree, yes.
And are these 1 hour enamels?
No, so I'm going to be doing a blend on this. So 1 hour enamel it's an enamel paint. It's an all-in-one style paint. What that means is it's got a built-in top coat. You don't have to use a sealer with it. There's a lot of paints that say you don't need a sealer. 1 hour enamel is one you really do not need to seal. It's got a beautiful satin finish on it. It's got a little bit of sheen. It's totally wipeable and durable. So I was pretty impressed with 1 hour enamel in that a lot of paints say you don't need a top coat, but you really don't need one with 1 hour enamel.
And then totally side note, Sherry said it's going to be super cold because today it was 75 and then 30 it's going to be, or Saturday it's going to be 30.
Oh, geez.
Like that's a hell of a change.
That's a jump. So what I want to finish saying though before I forget is that 1 hour enamel is an all-in-one style paint and you don't have to use a sealer with it. But what that means is most all-in-one style paints are not great at blending. So I am using the Wiesel Chalk Synthesis paint, and it's a fabulous choice for blending. Most chalky style paints are much better at blending than an all-in-one style paint.
So it was Karen that asked, and it's because she's just trying these paints out, so she was just curious.
Yeah, the 1 hour enamel is what you would choose for like solid single color finishes, and then the chalk synthesis paint is what you would want for like these blended finishes that I'm going to do tonight. So this second color that I'm going to work into this Joshua tree is called Deep Turquoise, and I'm just going to do a small band around of it, kind of around the outside of the Joshua tree. Now, while I'm going around, I'm working this kind of one drawer at a time, and I'm just going to do a blend. Now, this is just my conceptual coat, remember, so I'm not going to perfect this blend. It's not going to line up all the way up. I just want to get these colors laid out, and then what I plan to do is I'm going to send a picture of this to the customer and say, okay, how am I on color? And if she says lighter, darker, whatever, this is just my first coat. I can change it on my next coat.
Oh, excellent question. Bob Ross. I'm wondering if he's on Workman's Comp, because they haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, he's right here. Well, this is little Bob Ross.
Well, this is
baby.
a little on the gray side.
Oh,
how'd this happen? Oh, yeah. How'd that happen?
Baby Bob Ross.
That's so weird.
He put his neck out. He's got
a lot. He's top heavy.
Looking at the sky.
Yeah.
His spring is a little unstrung.
There's no spring in his step.
Yeah, he's still springy, but he's gonna look at the sky no matter what. That's baby Bob Ross. Hang on.
What'd you do? Paint his speaker too?
That's the stuff nightmares are made of.
He's wearing a red and gray sweater.
Don't follow Bob Ross.
Little Elm Street.
Don't follow him into the sewer. He says little messages, but it's like when you listen to an AC/DC album in reverse.
No, I think he just rolled up in a van asking if you want candy.
So I'm adding a little bit of water because I've been chatting, and and my Joshua tree, which is the green that I use, is starting to kind of dry, and so I'm just adding a little bit of water so that I can work this blue.
Positive Bob Ross. He's always looking up.
Yeah.
Nice one.
He's analyzing happy clouds. Always.
Searching for inspiration.
And I'm doing a nice wide overlap on the green to the blue. So I'm just using my brush from my blue. I'm re-wetting my paint with some water so that it kind of comes back to life again. And I'm just doing a nice wide overlap into that blue. And then this is going to get darker still as I go up, but I'm just going to make this ring right now. So I'm going to come to the other side again because I can't stand in front, so I got to keep moving around. It's got like a little lip under here, so I want to make sure I get that.
Gotta make sure no lip.
You know what's really hard is I don't have a problem sending my customers photos and saying, okay, what do you think of these colors? Sometimes it's helpful to make sure we're on the same page. But when they see it at a stage like this and everything's not perfected, they can sometimes get a little scared. And so, you know, this is a customer I've worked with before, and I think she trusts me enough that I can send her a photo and she won't freak out about it.
We've been married for 60 years. I still don't trust you.
Yeah, you still forgot about stuff.
like that right there, yeah.
Like today was kind of funny, guys, because Sean got out our Christmas tree decorations. And I said,
funny.
I said, I want the silver ornaments for, you know, this tree, and I'll do the red ornaments on the other tree. And so he brings in 2 containers of silver ornaments and says, which ones did you want? And I was like, I didn't even know I had 2. One of them's not even open.
Surprise!
Like I've used before. And I was like, well, I guess I bought that at some point and didn't realize it. So that was interesting.
Yeah, interesting. That's what it was.
And Sean just looked at me like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. The colors are changing on the camera, like the focus on the camera.
Maybe it's a color changing paint. Does it look like that?
Ooh.
Yeah, fancy.
A chameleon paint.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, so now
Hint, hint.
I'm going to go into a slightly darker shade. Just at first glance, I'm feeling like this deep turquoise that I put next to the green is probably going to be a little bit brighter than what she wants.
FBJ. Look at that viewership. You see the numbers. 2.
Wow, that's
Really making a mark.
That's discouraging.
They really like what you're doing.
Is it good or bad?
Hi, Mom.
No, I'm scared. If it's 2, I'm just getting up right now.
It's
like,
3.
I'm just too insulted to even see painting.
The kids are watching.
Yeah. And that's impossible because we turned the internet off for them. Okay, so this color is called Siren Song. And this is really pretty. So I don't know how this is going to go. If I'm off on color or she says I want lighter, darker, whatever, this may change to the next coat. So when this comes out as a final version, if I don't work on it again live, the colors may be different. So I'm going to come to the other side now.
Look at that, a pair of eyes there, Karen.
What?
That drawer right there, like it's got a drip on it.
I have a water drip there. So
that's a watermark.
Well, when you get watermarks in the paint, if you just stop and let them evaporate, most of it will cure itself. This is also just my base coat, so I'm just going to let that dry. I'm not super worried about it. I've got tons of flaws in this coat. I really am not trying to get it perfect. I'm just trying to get my colors laid out just so that I can see how I am on color. And how I am on layout too. If I lay it out, because the other option, there's a lot of different ways I could blend this piece out. I could take each individual drawer and do a blend on them. Do you see what I'm saying? Like do the blue all around the outside and just a green highlight in the middle. And that could be really pretty too. I'm only going this direction because I felt like most of the examples that she sent me had larger scale blends on them like this. So that's what I start looking for. I just start looking for similarities in all the photos that I'm getting from them. And what are things that I can kind of pick out that are similar between all these different photos. So even if they're sending me like 20 photos and it's overwhelming and I'm not sure what their direction is, each one of those is a little bit helpful.
Oh, that sounds like my back when I go to adjust this.
No, it didn't sound like your back because it didn't go.
Yeah. Well, I told you, that's just, as you get older, that's just something you want to do. It makes it easier.
I also feel like I want to tone the large scale green in the center down, and I think I'm going to do that a couple ways. I'm going to bring the blue in a little bit, and I'm also going to add a little tiny white highlight in the center of this blue.
So to take it back a notch, this is primed. It's not raw wood.
It has a coat of paint on it because I had started this one before my customer changed her mind, so I put it back in my inventory with the coat of paint on it. So it has a coat of primer and then a coat of brown paint over it. It's brown because I was gonna, originally it was ordered in gold and I was gonna spray it with gold paint. And she changed her mind, and so anyway, so I put the base of brown on to go under the gold just because metallic paints get lighter coverage. And so you need a base coat of something underneath them. And brown is a good base for gold. So anyway, it has a coat of brown paint and primer on it. Only because I had started this one previously and then it went through a change and... Okay. So I like this color better, and I'm going to go even darker still after that.
You're crazy.
This is Prussian blue. So once I've got my basic color layout on a drawer, like I'm just going to use this one as an example, I could pull this drawer out and I could repeat this basic layout. So I know my green is here. I know I've got an overlap of blues and then my dark blue. And I could take each drawer out once I've got the basic layout and paint them individually now. This is just my concept. I just want to cover up this brown, really kind of get a picture for, is this the direction that we're talking? You know, I'm feeling out how these colors will work together. Do these feel like, you know, where I want to go? Already I feel like I could eliminate one color. I feel like I could eliminate the deep turquoise and I would just go straight from the green into the siren song. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that I kind of learned on this coat right here.
That's my expert opinion.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah. I concur.
That's the kind of stuff that I learned on this coat here is what can I eliminate? What did I not need? You know, move this color in, move this color out.
Are you putting a transfer on this?
No, so far it seems like she just wants the paint.
Just the paint.
Just the paint. Which it'll be a really pretty finish, and then it also has this, I have the longer, the low dresser that I'll do to match it too. But this would be pretty with some transfers. There are a whole bunch of transfers I could match to this. Oh,
if only there was a way to go down lower.
I know, I'm like reaching. I would go down on my low stool.
Oh, here, let me adjust the camera.
I know, sorry. The color combo is really pretty. What's kind of interesting about this is this green in the middle is Joshua Tree, which was part of a limited edition release that just came out. And it came out in a total of a grouping of 6 colors. And I feel like when you see those 6 colors together, you think, oh, I need to use them with each other. But you can pull out those limited edition colors and use them with anything else in the line. And so it kind of reimagines colors that you see them together when they come out in a collection like that, but they don't have to stay within that collection. It's called the Desert Sunset Collection, but this is actually a completely different direction than a Desert Sunset. This is more like mermaid-y feeling. So I'm going to get this pass right here, and then I'll come around and do that, and then I'm going to start cleaning it up and working my way back around. When I'm doing pieces like this, I definitely feel myself, I get winded. I'm up and down and moving around the piece. I think I'm going to darken up these side panels. I think this will go into like a purple on the end, but I'm going to give myself a base of this blue just so I have some color here. And then I can put the purple over top and it'll give me a really pretty color. I'm just smoothing out my brush strokes right now because I've been kind of, you know, going every which way. So I'm going to just give myself a little bit of water, clean up those brush strokes a little bit.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Nice, nice to get your expert opinion.
We'll wake up.
You'd think Sean would be an expert on this stuff because he watches me every week, but...
Look, prime manager. Yeah. I can tell you what to do. I just cannot self-implement.
So that's pretty good. I'm going to redo this section right here and re-blend it into the green. That's where I'm already thinking. Let's come over and do this other side.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah. I definitely want to shrink down that green a little bit. It's a little large. I love the combination, but that's a little too much of that color. So I'm gonna, when I work this in, I'm gonna work that blue a little bit further into the center.
Ooh, here's a good question. So how long would you say it takes to do a piece with a client? How long have you had this?
Well, I mean, this is a bad example because I've been working with her for a while because I did other pieces for her before this. And so her order has multiple pieces in it. And so we've been communicating on these for a while, but that's only because she had more time because I was doing other pieces. You know, so I finished those first and then now we're coming around to these, but we've been talking about both sets the whole time. So, you know, it always depends because sometimes I'll take an order. It depends on how far out my workload is. Sometimes I'll take an order and it'll be 6 months before I even touch their piece. And I usually schedule it. You know, I can tell them, yes, I'll take your order. It's going to be, you know, December before I start it. And I usually know just by my calendar how far out I'm booked. And then they're welcome to message me anytime during that wait and say, here's some things I like, here's some things I don't like. And I just save that in a folder. And then when I'm ready to come back, I've got all those messages. So, you know, sometimes we communicate over months, sometimes it's weeks. This one I've had a few months that I've been working with her on some stuff.
Oh, Sherry.
Sorry, you guys.
What projects do I have going on?
I don't know.
I have like an 80% done house.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, we kind of built our own house, and that's a never-ending project.
And then we're hitting the maintenance version.
Do you guys want me to list all the projects in our house that I would consider not complete?
No.
I'll just sit here and ramble.
Why would I do that? I don't have 20 minutes for you to yap.
Not for Sean, because he hates hearing it, but I know what they all are.
No, you don't. I promise.
So what's not done in our house? You get to the point when you're building a house that you just get tired sometimes of working on it. So in the beginning, we were way more focused and it was going faster. And now we're to the point where it's a lot of cosmetics.
Oh, look at that. The video's got to end. All right, sorry. Facebook just implemented this new cap 20 minutes ago.
You're going through a tunnel?
Yep.
I'm going to leave this bottom empty because I would need to get down low to do it. And I'm going to put the purple down there. So I'm going to leave that brown straight for now. So you just get tired of working on projects and they go slower the longer you go. That's where we are now.
And the older you get.
Okay, this is really pretty. You guys want to watch me rework this now?
Yes.
And I might like go on speed round to do this, which means I don't face the camera and I just paint a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay.
You go now.
So what I'm going to do is I'm taking the siren song, my brush from the siren song, and I'm going to work this blue further into the center. And I'm going to brush it into the dark. So I'm just going to expand this band of siren song in the middle. All right, unfinished house projects.
Oh, jeez, really?
In order of priority?
No, I don't.
You know what they are.
I know what they are.
I send Sean lists all the time.
Yep.
There's a little part of our kitchen that's still missing the backsplash. It's just a little like a bar area that's off to the side of the kitchen. Doesn't have the backsplash up yet. Our master bath.
Sorry, Cheyenne's killing me. I'm glad Sean is still working on the house and hasn't let the fame go to his head. Yeah.
That's definitely not the case.
That is never the case.
So a little part of our backsplash, master bathroom, the tub surround. Most of these are tiling.
The tub? Yeah. It's all tiling.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
The tub surround is not all the way complete. It's a full like niche. It's a big part of the room, and it's a lot of tile. And then it's got a lot of accent tile, so it's like 3/4 complete. Let's see. There's a wall in the master that's got to have panel, like a shiplap put up on it. We're missing a couple doors that didn't.
Look, I'm fully functional. That's we're just good. Okay.
We're missing a couple doors that didn't come in with our original door order, and then they shut down during COVID, and we haven't gone back yet to correct the door order.
Molding.
Lots of molding, like pretty much all the crown molding, all that stuff, because that's all just cosmetic.
What else we got to talk about?
I mean, those are the main ones.
Oh, good.
Oh, the outside of the house has a lot of stonework, and we're only like 1/4 of the way.
See, I'm paying so much attention. They're looking at your rear, so.
Well, I mean, what's not to look at? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Just kidding. So I'm shrinking that green down already. Come over and do the same thing over here.
I am a prime example of, well, if you get 90%, that's great. Before I see a squirrel and I just scroll and divert over to a new project.
Sean's so sick of tiling after doing our entire house. He's so sick of tiling. He never.
Floors, walls.
Yeah, so.
Shower enclosures.
He never wants to see tile again. It's kind of how, like, he did all the tile work in the house. I painted the house. I don't want to paint. I don't want to touch it. We have touch-up paint that is needed to be done for like a year.
Oh, yeah. We got, let's talk about all the places that need touch-up paint. Do you want me to list them in order or like priority or... Oh, you don't like this game. Oh, it's so weird.
I don't know. All of a sudden,
let's go through the house. Let's go. Let's take the camera. Let's show them.
All of a sudden, your list just got touch-up paint added to it. That's all I know. All right, so I'm gonna fix this blend into the green. Shrink this down a little bit. Get some of that siren song coming up in there. This is my brush for my blue. Okay.
Sherry likes this game.
Yeah, it's super fun, huh? Sherry, tonight you can go help play this with your husband and see how
it's like a wheel, right? You just spin it. Everything on there is something to do around the house. Like, oh yeah, spin it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, the projects, it's like having a kid. Like at first you're super gung-ho on it, and then after a while...
What?
After a while you're like, why did I do that? I love my kid.
We have kids? What?
No, you just start losing steam. It's a lot.
Well, then there's other things going on all the time.
Yeah, that's true. We have a son who rows for a crew team 5 days a week. So that's a lot. Okay, this is my brush for my green, which is Joshua Tree, and I'm just smoothing this out. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm just conceptualizing.
Which is fine that he's doing that, because with 3 kids, I could pick the better of the younger 2, because we got to sell him off in order to pay for the crew.
Yeah. The crew's an expensive sport. Nobody warned you about that.
Sherry says Jim has his long list. Trust me.
Oh yeah, Sherry. So let's talk about your concrete.
Oh yeah.
Sherry's. Let's talk about your.
Yeah. Let's someone else.
Sean likes that. Sherry's getting concrete poured. But she's been waiting.
In this weather?
She's in Kentucky, right?
Yeah, but you just mentioned it was going to be like 30 degrees.
Well, she's been waiting for months for concrete work. Months. So I don't think they planned on it being December, but by the time you've waited months, you take what you can get, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
All right, how does this look from far away? Bad, good.
Looks good from the neighbor's house.
So at this point, I would step back.
I know, Nicole. What am I doing? I'm not tiling. I'm not cleaning brushes.
He does go to crew every day, and it doesn't help that the crew is like 45 minutes away.
Well, there's this other thing called a job.
Yeah,
that kind of gets in the way.
What is it called again?
Yeah.
Sound it out.
I've heard that before. Shut it! There's a concrete shortage.
Oh, a concrete shortage?
Oh man.
Jeez. Okay, so this is going to be my purple at the bottom. I mean, this I'm just rough idea in here, and I'm going to see what she thinks on it.
Sherry, that only works if the crew's being run by your husband, and he just doesn't want to do it right now. For everybody else, there better not be a concrete shortage.
So this is black cherry. Is the purple that I'm going to use. And I'm just going to get this down at the bottom. And I think I'm going to put some black wax over this black cherry because I definitely want it a little bit darker. I don't want this to be too rainbow-y looking.
Lois. The honey-do list. Looks like a Bible.
Yep, and you better abide to it like the Bible, too.
Yep. Huh?
Yep, you heard me. All right, when I brush this black cherry up over the Prussian blue, it creates this beautiful mix. I really like that combo when they overlap.
Oh, Cheyenne, trust me. I would be fired if my job was a cameraman. Yeah. I have to have a real job.
Well,
That's crazy, though.
There was one point when one of the companies I was working with was like, "Wait, Sean doesn't work for you, Brandy?" And I was like, "No." Like, I don't employ him. He has a job.
Yeah.
This is just his...
She's my boss, but that comes with the ring.
This is just his hobby, you know?
No, this is my hobby. Yeah, wait, what?
He just has really bad taste in hobbies.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, when I do this on my final version, you guys, I will come in here and I'll tie my hair back and I'll put on like a tank top and I'll just go, because you have to move very quickly over a large surface like this to keep going while your paint is wet. And when I'm perfecting it takes even longer.
Hey, stop talking. Just knock it out.
Sorry.
Okay.
I know. I'm already like, I need.
Come on.
I need to tie my hair back and put
Make
the
it happen.
on.
And go.
And then I've got to do the sides after this too. I'm not going to do the sides until I get her take on it and make sure this is what she wants. And then really I've got like 3 practice versions. If this isn't it, then I'll go on to a side and I'll revise something and I'll send her that. And then when I come back and do my all over second coat, I'll know what my direction is for sure.
Oh, Alicia, I know. She makes it look super easy. I watch her all the time and, well, not that end of her.
It's not. In fact, I know that this blend is going to frustrate the heck out of me when I come back to do the final version because it's such a large surface. I may not even get it in my second coat. It may be that I have to come back and do a 3rd coat to really get it where I want it to be. That is very common on these large open spaces. Got little fuzzes in my paint. That it will take me a few drafts to get it where I want. It is really pretty, huh? So that was one of the pieces she sent me. Can you hand me that screwdriver? I just want to pull these drawers out and get around the edges.
Oh,
I've got some watermarks here, like where I've misted it. I'm just going to let them dry.
Especially on that next one.
Yeah, I'm going to pull my drawers out and just make sure I don't have any areas that are gathering.
That's just crazy to me, a concrete shortage.
You're still stuck on the concrete shortage? I accidentally...
Like, I couldn't even imagine, like, when we were doing the house, we had 19 trucks?
Oh, yeah.
Do the foundation?
I know. Thank goodness we finished our construction.
I mean, this was years ago, years ago. What, 4 or 5 years, 5 years ago?
Yeah, but we finished the majority of our construction before COVID.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to deal with that. I can't imagine if we hadn't and we're trying to build in current conditions. Somehow I ended up with 2 brushes that have Prussian on them and none that have sirens on. So this is where I go through. My paint is still wet and I'm just going to clean up all these drawer edges. Make sure I don't have anything gathered on the sides. And that one's good. And then I'll just leave it out a little bit while that dries. Because like this is a good example right here. No, it's okay. It's gonna... I'm just off center. No, it's good. It's good. I'm just...
I'm so excited because what you didn't see...
This drawer right here wants to stick. It's got a little corner that's rubbing, so I sanded it. It's going to need to be sanded more. That's okay.
Oh, yeah. Where did that furniture piece that I painted end up? Oh, that was a landfill. We're still holding on to it.
It's still in my storage.
Let the bidding begin.
It was a single nightstand. It was a one-night stand.
Look at you throwing jokes.
And I actually went and picked up a second one that is a pretty close match, so I'm going to do it as a pair now. And I just haven't had any requests for nightstands, especially that one. I don't know why.
Oh, man, the comments advanced. So I didn't see the name, but someone had concrete poured, and I can barely see it, in Texas, and had to get tow trucks to get. You remember when we almost had to deal with that?
They got stuck.
I had to have the whole crew, the management staff.
I'll also just take my finger and I'll run it along the bottom here. That one, nothing gathered, but you want to make sure that you don't have lumps of paint that gather and start drying. So you can do all this while your paint is still wet. None of this paint is dry.
Oh, it's paneling. Yeah, I had to sign waivers for every truck that came.
Yeah, we had to take out a fence panel. It was too tight of a turn to get in our driveway.
Oh no, that wasn't the concrete.
Oh, that was
for
our trusses.
That was the trusses. Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll show up and take whatever out. I'm not holding up progress.
Wait, hang on. I have something to add to the list. A fence panel. It's still down.
You're funny. Keep painting.
It's still down.
Oh, yeah.
To this day.
It's a warning.
Yeah. Our neighbors must be like, oh my gosh, will these people just finish the house already?
Good.
But, wait, the only thing that makes us feel better is around the corner, there's people that bought their lot about the same time we did. We were the only 2 vacant lots in our whole neighborhood. Which is, 45 houses, something like that? All 5-acre lots. They've been there for 4 years, and they never built. They never even started building.
Yeah, they sold it because it was too much.
They ended up selling the vacant land, so at least we actually made a house. They just gave up when they. I think. Well, no, you talked to them at one point, and they were like, "We had no idea what was involved."
Yeah.
So same thing. I'm gonna run my finger down the bottom, just make sure I don't have any.
And then I told them I'd buy their land for the Louisiana purchase pricing.
We actually were in contract on that lot first, and then that deal fell out, and we ended up on this one, which is actually, I think, a better lot.
Oh, of course it is. Mainly because we're already here.
Yeah, mostly because this one has a house and that one has an RV.
No, I didn't care for that one.
Had a lot of rocks, a lot of rock outcroppings.
But if you can get it, buy land.
Yeah, still has a lot of rock.
Oh, I agree, Nicole. There goes the neighborhood. Beverly Hillbillies showed up. I'm still drilling for oil. I haven't hit anything.
All right, check the bottom of this one. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry. I will take pictures of it and send this, and this is what this is gonna be my rough draft. And I'll see what she says, make any changes if we need to, and then I'll go from there. So that's kind of where I'm gonna be for tonight. She says it's all good, then I'll give the sides a first coat, but I'm really not gonna go any further until I know, just because I don't want to waste the time to put a coat of this all the way around and find out that she wants changes. Usually that's not the case. Usually I have a pretty good idea going in what they want, but this was one where she's literally sent me, I think, a photo of every blue and every green piece that I've ever done and said, I like this. Like, well, they're all different. So we're just narrowing it down. That's okay. So that was kind of fun. So let me go over the colors that I ended up using. I used, my purple is black cherry. My dark blue around the edges is Prussian blue. That goes into Siren Song. And then I've got Joshua Tree is the green in the center. I said I was going to add white, but once I brought that blue in, I feel like I don't need it. I like this much better than it was to begin with. So that's a good color combination though. I think these could really work. So I'm going to let you guys go. I do want to tell you first though, I told you guys this last week, I had announced it. I'm going to be teaching classes in Southern California, in Temecula, California, at the Prima Marketing retail location. So they just opened a showroom in Temecula, California. And I'm going to be there the second weekend in December, which is December 9th through 11th. I've been working the last week on getting all the concepts for the classes done, samples, so that I can give you guys photos, because there's going to be a few different classes all weekend long, and you can kind of choose, do you want to just do a small class, a bigger class, a furniture class, a different project, but we're going to learn all the Prima products in those classes for that weekend. We'll be doing molds, we're going to do stamping, transfers, some paint techniques.
What?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Crazy.
Well, you're coming too.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
We're loading up the family, and we're actually going to drive down there because it's in my home state of California.
Beverly Hillbillies.
So you guys watch my page, and once those tickets are up, once I have those concepts nailed down and the times nailed down with Prima, I'm hoping to get those up this weekend. I told you that it would be this week, but I need to get them up this weekend. And then those tickets will be available for the next month. And I hope you guys will come down to Southern California. This is for all those West Coast people that always miss out on the classes that are nationwide. We finally have some on the West Coast.
Now, really quick, I don't want to break your stride, but I'm going to. I just want to throw out a quick shout out. Thank you to all the vets that are out there and their families.
It is the Marine Corps birthdays today, huh?
Yeah, 247.
Yeah. I saw a lot of posts today for that.
Don't get locked in the laundry room. Yeah, thanks, Sherry. Appreciate you.
No, so Prima owns homes down there that they Airbnb, and so we're going to stay in that house, and then we'll be at the shop for 3 days teaching classes with them. So it's gonna be fun. The concepts have come out really, really, really pretty. Do you guys want to see one?
Huh?
You want to see one? I kind of just want to show it because it's so pretty.
Come on.
I'm going to show it. Okay, hang on.
Oh my gosh. Nobody even asked.
I'm going to show it anyway.
It's like you're forcing this down our throats.
It's so pretty, and I love this color combination. So I haven't posted any of these yet, but this is one of the concepts I've been working on, is some books and their holiday theme.
Is this story time?
Yeah.
You're going to read to us?
Hang on.
Once upon a time. Is it in English? Okay.
It should be good reading. So
yes.
Everybody turn your hymnal.
Here, hold on. Me. Yep.
Isn't that pretty, you guys? This is the redesign with Prima snowflake mold, and the colors that are on here are Wiesel botanical and Charleston green with a little bit of snow owl on here. So pretty.
What are you looking at me for?
That's not the only one. I did a few different concepts. This one's a little more grungy, but they're all holiday themed.
Uh-huh.
It's got snowflakes, and then I used some metal chain on there for the
That one's
key.
cool.
That one's a little grungy. This one I used crackle on it. Yeah, this one I don't know if we'll open because I painted this book so many times. At this point, it's just a display item. I've painted this book so many times, and I just keep repainting it over and over again. It's not a book anymore.
No, it's someone's homework book.
Yeah,
no big
so
deal.
Cool.
I don't understand why you flunked that class.
So anyway, that was me conceptualizing different ideas for those classes. So you guys stay tuned for that. I'm going to let you guys go. Everybody stay safe. Thank you so much for hanging out on this Thursday, and I will talk to you guys next week. Oh, I do have a YouTube video coming out this week too. So check out my YouTube channel, Brush by Brandy.